Hey everyone, Pharaoh over here. So this is going to be a different kind of video, something I'm going to get off my chest. And I am saving it for here because I thought, this is a little bit more personal. I want to go as long as I feel like I want to go with this video. And we'll see where it goes, all right? So first thing I want to talk about is the future of Beer Money Engine, my future on YouTube. And I want to explain why I'm making some changes and why I've been making some changes over the last couple months with my own life. And I've been doing a lot of thinking, especially during my recent break. And I want to be transparent with you all about the state of things. But at the same time, I don't want it to interrupt my other channel. So I felt like it was better that I kind of just let it out in the open here so I can talk about it, all right? And like I said, I'm going to take this as long as I feel like I'm going to take it, okay? So first off, I know a lot of you know that I have been kind of scaling back significantly on Beer Money Engine as of late. And on this channel, especially Pharaoh Silver, I haven't really been doing much in a while. And I've been kind of pulling back from YouTube just in general. And some of you guys might wonder why. I mean, for those of you that aren't like in the know as to what's been going on YouTube lately, this is kind of my chance now to kind of explain why I am doing what I am doing, okay? So let me start by talking about when I first came back to do Beer Money Engine a little bit more seriously, almost 2 years ago to this day. Things were actually booming really well with the Beer Money community. And as far as a lot of get paid to apps, we call them GPT apps, no relation to Chat GPT. Things were booming in that end, actually. We had Bridge. It just recently started coming out within that first year and had a 1 cent, no limit on the amount of ads that you can watch. That was really cool. And they even had an Earn Plus program later on that allowed you to earn 2 cents on every ad that you could watch. There were lots of really simple, really doable games out there that you could earn decent money on, a good $50 to $100 on at a time, and then just move on. And it usually only took about 15 to 20 hours of gameplay to get through. Now, there were some exceptions to that rule, and we'll talk about like how a lot of these games have changed in a bit. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. I do want to talk about the first thing that has been annoying me the most regarding YouTube over the last couple years. And the most glaring one is that I feel like the channel has been crippled by YouTube community guidelines. For, again, probably for safety reasons, and I understand why they're doing it. But that the biggest beer money earner, the biggest, easiest, least effort beer money earner out there right now is something that I feel like could genuinely help a lot of people too. I cannot talk about it on Beer Money Engine. I cannot even mention its name because YouTube's community guidelines are so strict and unclear that I could risk losing my entire channel, or at the very least, lose my monetization abilities. And the ultimate hypocrisy about it all is that YouTube will gladly take money from these exact same companies to run ads on my videos. And they'll gladly take money from these companies to run ads to prevent me from doing things like Atlas Earth minigame streams, like ad watching runs, certain things that I've been wanting to do with the channel. I've had to completely scrap because the ads that Google have been bringing out have been so heinous and so insane that if I showed them, I would be banned from YouTube. Or at the very least, I would be, I'd have a strike against me, a community strike against me. Like, seriously, make it make sense. My ability to give you the best advice on how to make beer money is being censored right now by a platform that doesn't even follow its own rules. And that has been bugging the hell out of me because I know a lot of you have been asking me to do like reviews or videos on this particular method, and I cannot talk about it at all. I've had to dance around it in comments even because I'm too afraid that I could get copyright stricken, or not copyright, community stricken with it if I say anything about it. So I cannot publicly talk about it. And on Patreon, I think I have a little bit more looseness over there, and I've been trying to do something with that over there. But I do also feel like if I have to really follow like some kind of terms of service line there as well, and it makes things a little bit difficult. And plus I haven't had time to kind of do other videos on Patreon for that. And I'm pretty sure I would have to do them for free rather than a paid tier, but I could be wrong about that because I've seen other streamers able to do paid tiers of their own. So I'm not quite sure. But the thing is like having to dance around what is, I'm going to be honest with you guys, something that could, with just clicks of a button, you can earn upwards of $400, $500 a month. I'm not even joking on that one. And I cannot talk about it on this channel. Oh, well, not on this channel, I apologize. On Beer Money Engine, really has, it really is an issue for me that I can't provide the channel with the best possible content that I can give. All right, let's talk about the next thing. So this is actually something that I didn't feel like it was really worth mentioning, but I feel like a lot of it affects other creators a little bit more than me. I'm a little bit too niche for this level, but it is affecting me as well. And that is how YouTube is pushing shorts hard. And don't get me wrong, I can adapt, right? I can adapt and make shorts as well and do nothing but shorts if I wanted to. But there's just not as much substance that you can do with a 2 to 3 minute video with a vertical orientation that you can with something that's medium form or long form like I do here on Beer Money Engine. It's a completely different format that this channel was not built for. Give you an example. Tierzu has a second channel called Zier2. And he had actually shown one of the graphics where he actually talked about something very similar to this himself. He showed on the graphics his own shorts that he made about 3.7 million views at one time. And those 3.7 million views earned him $380. So roughly 10,000 shorts views will earn you $1. Comparing that to my CPM for my videos, where I believe 1,000 views gets me around $9. So if you do the math on this, and we convert the 10,000 equals $1 into 1,000 views, that's 10 cents for 1,000 views. And I'm aware that it is a lot easier to get an impression on shorts than it is to get on videos. I'm very well aware of that. And it is a lot harder to do advertising on these shorts than it is on regular videos like what I do. I'm also aware of that. Which, by the way, this video is not monetized at all. Just letting you know, all right? Not monetized at all. Whether or not I decide to put it on the first or second channel, I feel like I just wanted to let my voice be heard on this one, all right? Anyway, so 10 cents for 1,000 views with shorts versus 10 cents, $9 for 1,000 views for a regular video. That means that you have to have 90 times the views to earn the same amount. So I think I'm making something the last 28 days, something like when I was at my peak, I was making something like 35,000 views over 28 days. So I would have to make about a little over 3 million views on shorts just to equal what I'm making right now. And you see my shorts videos, they don't really make that much at all. All right? That's not a living, that's a slap in the face. It's a system that's going to demand more work, less pay, and less creative freedom. And that combined with this other issue that's been going on lately, this increase in like just AI slop videos, and I'm okay, let me put this out there right now. I know a lot of you have been complaining that some of my thumbnails involve using AI graphics. Yes, I do that to troll you because there are a lot of people that complain about AI videos and all that. And look, right, I'm a small time creator. If I get to a point I finally pay off the mortgage and I'm doing this full time, I would probably hire a graphic artist. But I can't do that right now. So I'm using AI as sort of a bridge so that way I have something a little bit more interesting for you all to see, although sometimes I don't even use that. Now, look, there's a difference between using a tool for graphic purposes, though, and just constantly mass producing content that just it doesn't feel like you put any effort into it. And it's really getting harder and harder for like real human made analysis to stand out. And look, a lot of these people that are making this AI slop too, I know what they're trying to do, all right? I see the meta pushing their way. And I understand, even with YouTube requiring you to label if something's AI or not, I understand this push that because it's getting harder. The guidelines have been getting more and more difficult, and it's been getting harder and harder to make anything on YouTube, especially for small time creators. Even big time creators are having problems too, by the way. Like I said, that video I mentioned with the Tier 0 second channel. Anyway, that, some people are just going to resort to doing AI slop because it's what's going to make them money. That's how they see it. So, yeah, it's pretty much just down to those kind of guidelines, and people just follow that meta. But look, even if YouTube was okay and everything was okie dokie, we have a bigger problem, and that is the entire Beer Money app ecosystem has been nerfed to the ground over the last year. The well is really starting to dry up, and in a way that I have not seen since the mid to late 2010s. Let me give you some specific examples. Here, this is Bridge. For those of you that don't know, it's a get paid to site, mobile get paid to site. They had a program a couple months ago called the Earn Plus program. And this Earn Plus program had so many amazing features with it that made it so much fun and turned Bridge into one of the primo Beer Money apps to earn money. But recently, right now, for new users, you cannot become an Earn Plus member. The gateway to making this app truly great for you has been closed. And that's just the beginning. Like, deals like that being gone is only the beginning. Here's another example. I can't exactly show this one because I don't have like past screenshots or anything, but game offers have become increasingly predatory and near impossible. And to give you an example, all right, I'm going to move back here a little bit. On a site that I used to frequent a lot, Free Cash, I used to play these word games, all right, and these little puzzle games. One of my favorites was Farm Jam, actually. I say favorite, but that's a relative term. I would 100% rather play Power World, Pokemon, Minecraft, or basically just about anything else, maybe even Uma Musume again, than I would, which I stopped playing, by the way. I'm not going to talk about that here. Than any of these other ad-ridden games. But anyway, back then it was reach level 2,060 days for $110. Now, I've seen another puzzle game that's very similar to it pop up that came up about a couple months ago that was now worth about $180, but you have to reach level 3,000 in only 40 days. All right, and considering how difficult it already was to get through 33 levels a day, 30 to 40 levels a day just to barely eke by with the $110, and that took me a little over an hour a day to get through. That's not an offer. That's a trap that's designed to force you into making purchases. Another great example, I used to play a lot of the Funcraft games. That's the one with the anagram Yahtzee, word Yahtzee, the one with the redhead and the glasses. And the one that kind of just followed the exact same thing where you had achievements that earned you experience points. And then you earned like a teeny little bit of experience points every time you win or lose, something like 5 for a win and 2 for a loss. And after a certain level point, they started doubling the requirements that you had. And right around level 20 was right when things started getting really bad. Like you need like 1,000 XP or something in order to level up, which meant like you needed to win 200 times or play 500 games or some combination of that in order to level up to level 20. Anyway, I have rambled on that one. Back then, there was a reasonable goal, reach level 20. You only had one really hard level that was 19 to 20. Now, their main goals require you to reach a nearly impossible level 30 without giving you the in-game resources to even get there. Now, in the past, I would speed things up and do, just go ahead and buy the $4.99 for no ads, but people have been telling me now that the no ads is now double that price. And even with no ads, it is still not going to help you very much. And I think one of the games, someone told me that the no ads is actually a temporary thing now, where you have to pay like $5 every 7 days. Wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. That's, oh my goodness. And the next thing was too, video ad rewards have just collapsed. So one of the things that I've noticed is it's been very, very hard to find anything that will pay more than 1 cent per ad now. Like, it was pretty easy to find something that could pay you a little more than 1 cent, sometimes 2 cents. I still have that with Bridge, but again, Earn Plus, no longer available for most of you. So, and then, the amount that you're limited to earning, also gone down as well. I think Pogo is the only one that offers more than 1 cent per ad, but they only let you watch 3 ads a day, and only certain people like myself can do that. Some people still are stuck with the 5 points per ad, which is half a cent per ad, which seems to be becoming the new standard at this point. So, wonderful, right? So what's left? Honestly, the only app in the entire beer money space that has shown consistent growth and hasn't been actively nerfed in the last 2 years is Atlas Earth. Even the forbidden word that I can't say has nerfed themselves quite a bit too, but they're still doing way better than even like MTurk or even some of the non-side hustle stuff. But that's why you see so much content, why I've been talking so much about Atlas Earth on my channel, is because it's one of the only apps that make you money left in town worth talking about in depth. That, and also they have a lot of updates, and apparently from what Annalise has told me, there's going to be a lot more updates in the next few months. So it's going to be like almost non-stop Atlas Earth information going on here. And that's what I'm expecting anyway. So when you combine a hypocritical and broken YouTube platform with a decaying, increasingly predatory app system, the pressure on a creator to keep finding the best beer money apps for you, it becomes a little bit too much for me to bear sometimes. And that pressure also has a real personal cost. And that leads us to Go Mining. Now, I've done 2 videos on Go Mining at this point. The first one, y'all remember, was my beer money review. And in the beer money review, I rated it a red, and a lot of people did not like that. And then I got a massive amount of comments on Discord and otherwise to reevaluate Go Mining. And I still kept it a red because I didn't see any changes going on with it, even after Shaman 15 put $1.5 million into it. And Shaman 15 was the former president of Atlas Earth, for those of you that don't know. And the backlash with that was pretty intense. But it wasn't the online comments that got to me. These last 2 videos had cost me a 9-year friendship. I had to delete this person's comments because he was airing deeply personal, unrelated dirty laundry about my past. The accusation from him was that I rate Web3 projects lower because of my personal history. And regarding the situation that he said, yes, it did happen. And it's a part of my life, but it has absolutely nothing to do with my analytical process. The simple truth is this. Web3 projects in general have a very bad reputation to begin with, and that has been running for years now. They do have to work harder to prove that they're legitimate. Is it fair? Maybe not. But I don't rate all Web3 or crypto-related projects a red. All right? You guys have seen me talk about Faucet Crypto was rated yellow. One that I used to review, but I can't anymore. I would say about green-blue. Coin-to-ply, I would put in the green-blue level as well. So there are crypto/Web3 projects out there that I see as legitimate enough that I would tell you, hey, this would be a good place to go. You're probably not going to waste your time here. It probably won't be a waste of time or, a waste of whatever money that you wanted to purchase on, although I don't recommend putting any money into it. But beside the point. With Go mining specifically, let me be crystal clear here, though, all right? I'm not in the business of accusing them of anything. My critique, my red rating, comes purely from the Beer Money Engine perspective. And from that perspective, I did not see at the time Go mining having shown any real, viable, strong free money options to build to a useful miner that gets you earning passive income. And I'm not talking about their cheapest miners that will run you out of not making any money within a year and a half. AJ will tell you how that's going, okay? He'll tell you, he'll wax poetic about that. I'm talking about the ones that will actually earn you significant money back at a certain amount of time, starting at the mid 3 figures minimum. Now, I will say, hopefully I don't have to block anything out here. I don't. Okay, I think I'm good. There is a free option that I did find with a little bit of help from my friends at the Beer Money Network. And that is this thing called the Bounty Program. And with this Bounty Program, you score certain amounts of points based off of tasks that you can do, and you get Go mining tokens at the end, which you can turn in for cash, which you can use to fund for a miner. And there are certain things you can do. Like, for example, you can share a post on X, and you'll get between 2 to 320 points per day, depending on how many followers you have and what your tweet score is. They have this thing that they have where you have to put in a tweet score. You can watch a video and get 1 point. You can watch a Go mining video and get another point. That's 2 points right there. You can go on Telegram. I don't like Telegram, me personally. There's also Reddit as well, but I think you have to reach a certain point, like a certain amount of karma, in order to get the points on that one as well. Plus, it is a little high. And then there's referrals as well. Referral purchases, bringing a friend in. You're able to earn points, and you can earn Go mining tokens. And I think 1 point is something like, what was the last one? What did I earn in the one that I had just 1 point on? Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. It was way back in 103, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, what did I earn with that one? 103. You can find out right now. There you go. It was 6 cents. So I got 6 cents for just watching a video. So yes, I will be reevaluating Go mining, but I ask that you give me time to kind of just let everything kind of just brush over. I'll take a look at the options, try to go through all the tasks, actually have time to go through all the tasks, figure out the effort, and come up with the proper rating for Go mining. And then I'll put that video out, and also give me time to just kind of let this all wash over first. Okay? Because losing a friendship over my analysis, that does take a toll. The whole experience just amplified a feeling that I've been wrestling with for a long time. And also, look, the other thing too is, like, I never really saw myself as a one-dimensional guy. I never want to be known only as the Atlas Earth guy or the beer money guy. This is just a facet of my life. It's not all of who I am. And when that one facet starts causing this much stress and like this much burnout that I'm dealing with, I'm kind of being forced to step back and just reevaluate everything. And I start looking for something a little more. So when Beer Money Engine first started out, and I saw that it was growing much better than any other YouTube project or any other YouTube channel I had ever been a part of in my life, I was starting to see it almost kind of a way out of the job that I was in at the time. So I actually don't hate my job, and I never had. I hated my career path though for a long time, and it wasn't because I hated coding or anything. I actually love coding. I actually love creating things, and I love creating new programs for myself and making my own personal projects. But the problem is there was a social stigma that involved around people who are software engineers, or in my case, just a software engineer in general. Okay, and there are certain people in my life that looked down upon just techies in general, software engineers especially. People that I see around me that I can tell from from, let's just say, socialites, or like the social upper class or upper middle class of people. Not so much economic, but like social upper class of people, like what we would call today the modern popular crowd. We can go with that, all right? Like they look down upon people like me for my career. And even my own family has looked down on me for my career choices in life as well. So I had seen Beer Money Engine as sort of a way for me to kind of live life on my own terms, as a way to get out of the situation that I was in, especially after a particular situation had led me so down that I felt like I just could not do my career anymore. So, on top of that, my job, as I had been seeing endlessly on YouTube videos, was being massively impacted by AI. And I genuinely thought that, oh, well, if, my lack of enthusiasm wasn't going to end my career, or me just not getting laid off at random was not going to end my career, because I had been in a lot of really terrible jobs as a software engineer. I thought, well, if that isn't going to do it, AI will finish me off. Fine, I guess. I guess instead of running from it all, like, I could just like focus more on Beer Money Engine, and eventually this channel will be big. And then, as you all saw with the guidelines, the increasing problems with Beer Money Engine, I even did a rant talking about how I suddenly realized what the issue is with something like a channel like Beer Money Engine and what it's meant to be, and I wanted to change direction on it. But, with AI, instead of running from it, the more that I saw what it could do with my life, the more I started deciding to dive in headfirst into AI, actually. And I started studying. I got some certifications, and I learned everything that I could. And I'm still doing that, by the way. And not only do I feel like AI made me a lot happier, it's kind of saved my career in a way. And I found a new passion. I became genuinely, deeply fascinated by what AI can do. And this deep dive in isn't just for my 9 to 5. I could see it's unlocked a whole new creative side for me. It's given me like new skills to bring out ideas for projects that I'm truly excited about, that I want to give to everyone when that time comes, and that you guys can try out for yourself as well. Things like I've been working on a card game actually with my wife, and we've been designing that. I've talked about, I wanted to do a mobile app for Beer Money Engine to do like tracking all your beer money earnings. There's certain side projects where I can actually build something new and something tangible and something that's better than just going into shorts and hoping that I can get 100 times the audience to get the same amount of pay that I do for a long form video. Now, I need to be really clear about this part though. These are passion projects. developing an app, designing a card game, stuff like that, and any other ideas that I may have. These things take a long, long time, and I don't have any deadlines, okay? I'm excited to share my progress with you when I have something meaningful, if you guys are interested in that. But I'm asking for your patience in advance. This is a marathon, it is not a sprint, all right, guys? But this brings me to the point of this video, and that is that for me to focus on these new passions and to better my own life and to hopefully better the life of the Beer Money Network community, I'm having to scale back on Beer Money Engine. And I know I've been doing 2 to 4 videos a week, but starting last month, and it's going to continue, I'm going to bring it back down to a more sustainable 1 to 2 videos a week. I'm not quitting, I'm refocusing. I'm choosing to focus on myself as well. I'm focusing on trying to just relax a little bit. I'm starting to realize that Beer Money Engine is not where I want to be. Now, again, where I want to be for like my full-time job going forward. I'm starting to see it more like a hobby, a little fun thing where it's like, hey guys, I see this cool new app. Here's the review of it. Or, you know, hey guys, I'm doing something on Atlas Earth. Want to see? There's a new feature on Atlas Earth. You know, bringing it out. Let's talk about it. Maybe bring back the round table. Bring everyone back at the round table and let's do some discussions and have some fun, huh? Because I know a lot of people liked that too. And I know I haven't done a round table in a while, and part of that is because of everything that's happened this last year as well, and also because everyone's been very, very busy this year as well. So like I said, I'm just refocusing, all right? I want to build things that last and not just feed the machine or take part in another meta or do something else. I want to do something fun, you know? Now, I don't know what this means for the future of the Patreon. I don't know what this means for the future of other things as well. I'm kind of just following through as I go with that. I'm going on a trip for about a week. I'm going to try to do something for that week, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to do anything. I'm going to try, though. I still want to continue to do streams. The stream schedule is going to remain Friday, Saturday, at the usual times that I've been talking about. Friday, it's still kind of flexible. Saturday, 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern. I'm going to try to keep doing that each week. But, yeah, this channel is not going to go anywhere. Beer Money Engine is not going to go anywhere. But I am seeing the writing on the wall, and I do see and starting to reconfigure in my brain what Beer Money Engine is supposed to be in my life. And at first I saw it as my ticket out, but now I'm not looking for an exit anymore. I'm realizing I was running for an exit that led me to a cave that is slowly caving in around me if I go in. And I can see that year after year with these YouTube earnings. I can see it with the guidelines being put on me that has been basically crippling this channel. I've even considered just turning this into a full Atlas Earth channel. That's how bad it's gotten, all right? So, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with the Patreon. I don't know what's going to happen with anything else going forward. I do know I'm going to start making videos at the pace that I want to make. And I'm going to try to make that 1 to 2 a week, as I said. Could be more sometimes, could be less sometimes, but that's about the average I'm going to try to keep up. And on the Pharaoh Silver channel, again, same thing. I'm just going to do things at my own pace. But I just wanted y'all to know that I want to thank you all for everyone who had been there for me from the beginning and going forward as well. And I'm hoping that this will lead to me being a little bit happier and a little bit less cynical about these Beer Money videos. And hopefully when something big comes out, I can show you all and we can talk about it then, either on Beer Money Engine or on Pharaoh Silver, okay? So with that, everybody, thank you very much for listening. I'm glad I was able to get this all off my chest. I'm going to head back now. I got some studying I got to do. And I got another video I got to make on the Atlas Earth progress report for the primary channel, Beer Money Engine, okay? So with that, everyone, thank you so much. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.